You've tuned in to Arm and a Leg and Other Opinions We Like to Give, a weekly podcast hosted by two veterans dedicated to politics, current events, interviews, and anything else they want to mention, but probably shouldn't. So without further ado, here are your hosts, Robbie the Dream Gaupp and Brett Miracle Man Parks.
Hey, welcome and thank you for tuning in to Arm and a Leg and Other Opinions You Like to Give podcast. I am Brett Parks.
And this is Robbie Gaupp.
Man, we have an awesome day today. It is Friday. Congratulations, everybody. You made it through another week.
The whole week.
The whole week. This is incredible. We usually do this on Wednesday. All hundreds of you out there that watch us on Wednesdays. We're now on Fridays because we figure you'll be in a better mood. You're not doing as much work that you usually do because it's Friday and no one really does work on Fridays. Am I correct?
Correct. They're ready to go home for the weekend.
Oh, I remember in the military, Fridays, if you're not gone by noon, something's wrong with you. Like, show up, 7:30, 8, whatever, and then you just sit around until noon. Maybe like empty the trash out.
Trying to make the day go as fast as possible so that weekend can come.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So how you been, brother?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, I've been okay. I've gotten a lot of flack on the social media sites.
I've been reading up on it with you.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, so my wife's Catholic, and I have a lot of respect for the Catholic religion and what it has accomplished through the years. But if I see somebody that's doing something in any religion that's not doctrinally sound. I don't know if that's the right word, but not sound doctrine.
Sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. I call them out on it. I do that. I call people out. And Pope Francis has done a few things that we actually talked about, something he did before about claiming there's no hell. We couldn't verify whether that was true or whether that was false. But I had issue with it, and I voiced my opinion. Through scripture, I quote Bible verses and stuff in context. And then this past week, it turns out that there's a video going around where there's a little boy, a sweet video, man. And there's a little boy, he's crying. He doesn't really want to talk to the Pope because he's the Pope, right? And he's like, come to me and whisper in my ear. So they're hugging. And the little boy basically said, my dad was an atheist. He didn't believe in a God. He didn't believe in God. Will I see him in heaven? And this is a tough spot for Pope Francis to be in. I get it. But there's a way to talk to the boy and proclaim truth without being vicious about it, you know? But he didn't do that. He instead said that since the boy and his kids were baptized, he was a good man. And since he was a good man, he's going to heaven. And we all know that good men don't get into heaven.
That's what it says.
The forgiven ones do. The ones that know God, know the Lord. And that frustrated me. And I voiced my opinion about it. I said, this is sad that Pope Francis chose this way. And oh my gosh, all of the flack I got. I had one guy call me a complete hypocrite and pardon my French, but judgmental ass and all this stuff, saying, I can't believe you're telling me I'm going to hell. And I'm like, when did I say you were going to hell? So I was like, whatever. He blocked me, and there's other people that said things. And
yeah. Well, that's the thing about social media. You have keyboard warriors. You have these people that go on and they try every single thing that people do, and that's just how people are. That there's just everybody has their own opinions and this and that, so they want to go on to social media and try to bash other people. Sometimes even if you're right 100%, people would still bash you just right. Because that's what they're there for. That's what their plan is. They don't have any other obligation but to go out and try to make people's lives horrible.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And the thing is that really frustrates me is social media is a great thing at times, but I think what social media has done is it's taken humanity out of people. When you're talking on social media, you're not being understanding, you're not being sympathetic to what other people are saying, because all you are looking at is, a screen and words. And it really dehumanizes people So then there's such vicious, like such venom being spewed at people because we're not talking face to face. I know
people don't have boundaries any longer there. You know,
Right.
as long as you're behind a keyboard, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to show, you know, anything. And so the people who have been attacked their whole life feel like, hey, now I can come out and I can start attacking people.
Right. And so it's frustrating. It frustrates me, but you know what? Whatever. I'm not going to change my thought process, especially when it comes to eternity, because people are offended. That's one of the big lies I think that's been taught as of late, meaning the past 20 or 30 years, is that good people, if you're a good person, you can get to heaven. And, you know, surely a loving God wouldn't let people go to hell. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, listen, guys, we have instructions. There's specific instructions on how to be cleansed from sin and how to get to heaven, but we refuse to heed it, most of us. So it just gets frustrating, especially when it comes to politics and, I mean, religion. And, you know, that whole big thing that we've been told our whole lives, two things you never talk about is politics and religion, right? Don't talk about politics and religion. Well, that's a big lie, because our whole lives we've avoided politics and religion. We don't know how to talk to each other about it. We should have been taught, always talk about it. Those are almost two of the most important things in the United States of America. Religion being number one, you know, where why we're here, where we came from, and where we're going. And number two, politics. You know, if this country isn't run with a strong foundation of you know, religious foundation, a spiritual, faithful foundation of God, then we're screwed. So the two most important things that we're supposed to talk about, we've been told our whole lives, don't talk about it.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's easy to push people away from talking about those two things by saying that kind of thing. Because if you say, hey, don't talk about don't talk about religion and politics, then it's easy for us to say, hey, just exit yourself out of the conversation. So you're obsolete now. So now where there was 10 people, there's only 9 people talking about this, or there's, you know, even less because other people walk out as well.
Right.
So that was a good thing for the people who were leaders and wanted to, you know, take control. Because if I ask you to exit the room because I'm going to talk about these two things and you're offended by it, then that makes it easier for me to talk to the people that are going to respect my opinion.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Completely. Totally.
But talking about religion, we are going on a topic today, talking about Syria. That is a lot to do with biblical type stuff. And was it right or was it wrong to bomb Syria? That is the big question of the day.
That is the big question of today. And I think, you know what? We're taking two different stances on this.
I believe so.
I believe we are. So what do you think, Robbie? Was it a good thing?
I believe we had to go in there and take some type of control. Believe it or not, I'm not one of those people who believe that we should always interfere in other world problems. But like, if I was sitting here and I watch next door a dog get beat by its owner every single day and I didn't step up and do anything, then I might as well be an accessory to that beating because I didn't do nothing. And that's the same thing with this. You know, Syria, they've been getting attacked, you know, since before biblical times. I mean, It's been a war over there forever. And, you know, up to this date, I think since 2013, 10,000, let me actually get you the exact number. In 2017, it was 10,204 people. And then just this year alone, it's already 3,404 people that have been killed in the attacks. And that's a huge number of people. And that's being attacked by their own people. It's not even, you know, I mean, of course, Russia and all them supposedly in on that as well. Yeah. You know, there's no actual proof of anything going on as far as that kind of other people helping out. But I'm sure when we sit here and look at it, the Assad regime doesn't really care about their people. But just like with Hitler and just like with Saddam Hussein, we had a say in leadership in this, and we helped put Assad in power there. And just like those two people, they start genocide and start killing their own people. So
listen, Assad did not bomb his own people. I'm sorry to say this, but he did not bomb his own people. Trump, just like a week earlier, was saying how we're pulling our troops out. Why on earth would he go ahead and say, you know what? He's pulling his troops out. Now's a great time to bomb my own people. There's something fishy here. Something's not right.
Well, that's the thing with Trump bombing Syria. We only killed 40 people. That, believe it or not, with all the bombs that went off, that is not a substantial number like most people would expect. Because we are bombing something. We bombed chemical factories that were making chemical warfare weapons, and we got rid of that. Now, I'm not saying it's all gone, because I'm sure it's still going to be happening. They're going to build them somewhere else and start it over again. But I'm not saying it was Assad. I can't sit here and confirm that. But I know this for a fact. It has happened in the past. So to sit here and say Assad hasn't done that, it's hard to say.
Listen, man, there's a new terrorist organization that's popping up in Syria. Now, ISIS is about 90% defeated. About 90% of ISIS is gone. Now there's this new group. What are they called? I don't even know. It's Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. And it's a union of 5 Islamist organizations. So they're ready, because back in Obama screwed us. Former president, sorry, let me be respectful. Former President Obama screwed us by first of all drawing that red line in the sand. Chemical weapons were used, and then boom, it was like nothing ever happened. Obama was like, well, whatever, I'm going to draw another red line in the sand. Not only did he do that, but he caused him and Hillary Clinton, all these people, they caused such disruption in the Middle East, in Libya with Gaddafi, and here in Syria, and all these arming these rebels, which turned out to be ISIS, doing all this stuff. He totally screwed us. Even Obama's national security spokesman said that Trump was handed a mess with Syria. And here we are. We got ISIS because of all that stuff. And then we have this new organization ready to take over once Assad's out of there. So my theory is that these guys use chemical weapons to bomb these people because they want America to come in and take Assad out and make it all a big mess like Obama did before, so they can come in and they can capitalize. I think that this is a big conspiracy because they want it to be another Obama. What was that called? Something Spring. What was it called? It was something Spring, where the it was just like a big civil war. So they just want this again, and we don't need to be in there. We don't need to be doing that. We don't need to drop bombs. I understand that innocent people died. I get that, and I'm very sorry about it. But come on, man, let's be realists about this.
Well, the way I look at it is our main thing we have to focus on right now is Russia. Russia is funding. We know for a fact Russia is giving weapons to regimes to try to take over, countries and everything else, and they're just backing them so that the small countries can get destroyed and they can take over the other one. So basically, they're trying to spread out their dominance in that area, which makes complete sense because who wouldn't do that? That's what's been happening since forever. Right. So when we look at that, Russia is probably the main role in this, and we always want to go back to say Donald Trump did this and Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump didn't make the final decision on going over there and bombing Syria. And people have that. I see it all the time right now on social media and everything else. Oh my God, I can't believe Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump didn't have that say. Donald Trump has put leaders in position as far as generals and other people that step up to that plate and say, hey, this is the problem here. Now I'm not saying that you're not wrong, Brett. In the there was with Iraq and stuff, there was Saddam Hussein was doing the same thing. People always say, oh, well, we went there to steal their oil. We went there to steal this. But Saddam Hussein was killing people. He was killing innocent people all the time. And we knew that. Hitler did the same thing. We weren't there to steal anything from them, but you were killing your own people. So we had to step in, and luckily, we have France, which I never see France joining with anybody. So I don't know who the hell they sent over there. They probably didn't have weapons. They probably went over there with rubber weapons. Just like
I still call French fries freedom fries because I don't want any association with the French.
They probably went over there with rubber bullets just like they did in Africa. But with the UK backing, as always, they're always helping us. I do say sometimes we still.
Yeah. But
war that's been happening for a long time, and we wouldn't expect nobody to come do it if we were having our own civil war either. So,
right. Well, what? Okay. So we had 8 years of former President Barack Obama just completely screwing this up. Everything in the Middle East was completely screwed up. Here we are, a former President George W. Bush. We did the surge. We started in Iraq and Afghanistan, especially Iraq. We really beat it back. And then former President Barack Obama came in and he sets a timeline and tells all these terrorists and all these guys, okay, we are pulling out this date right now. We're going to pull out. So for 8 years, we had a mess. Now, we're going to have another 8 years of a mess in Syria and the Middle East. For what? At what cost? And we're messing with the Russians now? Why are we messing with the Russians? Leave them alone. Leave them over there with the vodka.
I mean, the biggest thing I think, like I said, with Russia is they're giving regimes weapons to try, to spread out their hate and their stuff like that. And we've known that. So it's one of the things. I mean, could this be something that, Donald Trump is using to cover up, that, hey, now I'm not friends with Russia? Who knows? I'm not positive on that kind of stuff, but I will look at it like this. Russia is the main person right now in all this fight. I believe that them funding weapons, them helping and backing those people. China says they're against Russia as well, but we know China backs Russia. Like there would be no reason why they wouldn't. Like,
so what happens if Russia throws down and China gets in the mix and says, all right, what happens when World War III starts? And is America, do we still have the strength to join with the UK and rubber bullets of France and and defeat 100 million man army in China, and then Russia with all their stuff? I don't know what they have, but I'm sure there's something. Like, at what cost?
I mean, the cost is going to be a country, I'm sure, in due time. That's how it is. It's whether it's us or them. Now, when we have to look at this is, do we have the power is the question. I believe right now America is divided and the rest of the world sees that. And it's easy when somebody's divided because everybody isn't going to stand up and fight with them, because they're going to say, oh, well, I don't believe in the military. I don't believe this should happen. I don't believe that should happen. And when you start being like that and divisive and questioning your own people, it's easy to come in. It's just like if there is one person and it's a mole, and that mole goes into your yard, and you see a hole, and a mole dug that hole, but you say to yourself, oh, it's just a little mole. He ain't going to do that much. But then you come out the next day and there's 4 holes. It's easy to go in and break down the foundation from within.
Right.
Then, you might only see one hole for that mole. He might completely destroy the hole underneath it. And then you walk out one day and the whole ground collapsed. And that's what we've done in America. We're collapsing our own ground today. So it's like they're just watching over there. They know there's probably only one hole, but that one hole right now is just destroying us. So it's like they're not really worried too much about us because they know that, hey, their own country isn't backing them. I wouldn't
be too worried about us either.
Yeah.
We're going to have to bring the draft back. If we have a full out war, we have to bring the draft back.
And how many people are actually going to do it?
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of kids with their freaking Fortnite on their cell phones and wearing vagina hats, coming to boot camp trying to figure things out. And you know what? This spells doom for United States of America.
If it happens,
listen, it's well on its way. History is repeating itself. And I think if Trump, now I know Trump is riding a tightrope on his campaign promises and actually going to full scale war. I know that he campaigned on being strong, but we have to go in there with America first mentality. Has to be America first. We're going to do precision strikes here, and here. Let's not go in there and patty cake around. And this is what we do with every war. We go in there, we kick butt for the first 4 or 5 weeks, and then we try to stay and be peacekeepers and try to build schools and stuff. Stop doing it.
Yep.
Take the gloves off, punch the guys in the mouth, and say, all right, now handle your business. And I feel that there's going to be a lot of American lives lost because of this garbage.
I mean, that's what happened when we go back and we look at Germany. We went in there we destroyed them, and we took their military. Like they cannot no longer have a standing military like that. So it's like we did what we came to do. We had to do it, and it happened. And you know what? In a way, it kind of sucks because I believe that, hey, a country should be able to defend itself, but you tried to take over the world, and with the power that you wanted and you lost, we had to take it from you, and the rest of the world agreed with that. So it's like, because why? Because they were trying to take over the whole world. I mean, and then luckily, there was the fight between Germany and Russia. Then, I mean, right. we can say thank you, Russia, that you were there, because if you weren't there, America probably would have fell to the Germans. I mean,
yeah, but Stalin was as bad, if not worse, than Hitler.
Yes, but still, I will always say, and I feel this, as crazy as Stalin was, he was a president or whatever, leader of a country that I do respect in a way, because that man, when Hitler took his son, Stalin stood up and said, "I have no son." How many people would actually do that for their country?
Yeah, that's pretty.
I respect that part only. The part where you go and eat with your friends and shoot them in the head is nuts.
Yeah, if he really has a heart and really has that much love for his country, that's very noble. If he's just a flat out crazy man, then he's just the crazy man.
It's flat out crazy either way.
Well, we did need Russia in World War II. Unfortunately, in World War III, we're going to have to go against Russia, and that in itself doesn't bother me. But it's when you throw China in the mix where I'm like, okay, this is starting to get dicey.
Well, you have a world power as America, as we claim, and as the world sees us. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about it at the moment, but we were a world power. You take a top world power, and then you're taking a top world power and throwing them to two top world powers.
Right.
And I mean, 2 against 1 is really hard. No matter how you look at it. I mean, you can keep up with them for a while, but after a while you get drained. And
the Brits, bless their hearts, and they've been allies with us for a long time, but they don't have the kind of military needed. And France doesn't either. Who else would be with us? Canada doesn't. And don't get me wrong, each one of those countries and their military, I love them. They're great, but when we're talking about going against two powerhouses like Russia and especially China, that's where, China has stolen. They've hacked into our computer systems and stolen almost all of the technology they have. They stole from us. And
everybody's got a PS4 and Xbox One in their room. Mm-hmm. They're all made in China, so
that's true.
Who knows?
I'm hoping that China's smart enough to know that if we don't exist, they don't exist. Because this country is one of the biggest consumers of Chinese goods. We owe them like trillions of dollars, and if they're going to take us over, it's like, all right, you guys are out of trillions of dollars. So good luck.
And that's the thing. The big dog is always going to want to come get its money eventually. Mm-hmm. The big dog's going to want its bone, and if you hold on to the bone and you keep dwindling down the bone, the big dog's going to be like this. Hey, you're not giving me back my bone. You just sitting on it. So, it's in due time. It's we all know that. But I think the thing we have to look at is America needs to, and I believe Donald Trump is trying to do that. He's trying to bring people home to say, hey, we need to worry about our own country right now. We need to worry about this. We need to worry about that. But I'm sure he's getting flack when, the Syria bombing or the Syria chemical attacks and all that's going on, and people are saying, hey, we need to do something about this. But then you go do something, and they're like, oh, we shouldn't have done nothing about this. It's the same people that say we need to do something that say we don't need to do something. So it's hard to sit here and say, hey, we need to stop something, but at the same time, we don't need to do nothing about it. That's the left people have to stand up and say, hey, either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it. And we're not going to cry about it when it happens.
All right. So here's hypothetical for you.
Okay.
I don't know if it's hypothetical, but I don't know if that's the right word because I'm not very smart. But here's a hypothetical. You are Donald Trump.
Okay.
Congratulations. You are rich now.
Yes.
First question, can I have a loan that I don't have to pay back? Second question, this is important. What do you do? This whole thing, you just drop bombs, precision. Let's not just say drop bombs. People, when they hear that, they think it's like a B-52 carpet bombing the place, but they're precision strikes and on chemical plants. You just did that. Now what?
Well, I would say that's where we sit down and we say, hey, this is our first step. This is the first step. If you're not going to back down, and Russia, if you're not going to sit here and take claim or lie about it now, we have to sit here and say, that is it. We're done with you. There is no more. We're not going to be, giving supplies and this and that and transporting, rice or whatever you need. We're not going to be helping you any longer. We know you're doing it. We know you're behind it, and we know that you're helping regimes, whether it's them or not. We know you're doing that. And if we find it like solid evidence that you've done it, it's it. We're cutting you off. There's no more supplies coming to you. We're not helping your country any longer. And yes, people are going to be mad about it. People are going to say, oh, well, you're going to let people die that need this stuff. Well, there's always a loss somewhere. Now, do you want to lose at the home front, or would you rather, push in, drop whatever you need to, say, hey, here's what it's going to be. And if they make that choice, they made their own choice. We didn't make that choice for them. We give them the option. I mean, that's how I feel we have to do. We have to, just like you said, Obama did it. He drew a line. Now, we didn't, when we draw a line, a lot of times, like you said, we'll go in hard for a week and then we'll kind of try to make peace with people. We don't need to make peace, though, this time. We need to go in, just do what we have to do, get it done with, and say, you know what, that's it. And the rest of the world needs to recognize that, hey, we're not going to be these people anymore that get run over. They come in and help you and get run over.
So I just got a comment on our chat that asks, Matt said, don't forget about NATO. So NATO, who, they're so good at everything they do. A lot of sarcasm there. NATO. So if Congress declares war, because only Congress technically can declare war, if they declare war on Syria and Russia, whatever, all that stuff, where does NATO go in this? Do they side with us, or do they side with Russia and China and Syria?
Well, I feel NATO would go with us because they're using chemical warfare.
Yeah.
I mean, they're against that. NATO's against that. That's one of their number one things. They're saying, hey, this is not allowed. So with that being drawn in, I believe that they should join with us. It should be that way, but I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Everyone wants to see America fall. It's in due time. I mean, as much as I respect the Brits.
Hold on. I was thinking about the UN. I meant UN. I didn't.
Okay, UN.
We'll talk about NATO in a second.
Okay. So yeah, the UN. The UN has, like I always said, I always say this to myself, and I believe this. Everybody wants to see America fall, but the UN, whenever everything happens, I think they would turn their backs on us, because everybody wants to see America fall. Mm-hmm. They would want their peace. Everybody would want their peace, and they've been trying to get a peace since they came over here and tried to take America. So
America's like Alabama football team. I don't know about you, but I always want to see them lose. I hate Nick Saban. In a good way, though. I hate him.
And that's how it is. I mean, everybody needs America, but in the end, could everybody make it without America? I believe it. I believe so. We use a lot of their distribution and stuff anyway. So they're over there making our stuff for us. It's not like, we're sitting here making all of our own stuff at home.
Right.
So in the end, do they really need us? And what would they need us for?
Well, I mean, we consume a lot of their products. So we give them, in a sense, we give other countries or more developed countries jobs.
But if they took over us, we would still have to consume their products.
No, we wouldn't.
We'd probably be forced to. We'd be forced to eat French ketchup and French fries. Okay.
No, freedom fries. Yeah. So NATO is a group of allies that have to fight for each other. So I guess we'd fight.
They'd have to join. I don't see them not helping us because they are against that type of stuff, but who knows?
I just think that we're in a time right now where there's a bunch of, I can't say cowards, but there's a bunch of snowflakes, I guess you'd say. They don't want confrontation. Confrontation is like the last resort, and even at the last resort, they don't do it. They kind of, people just lay down. And I think that was very evident in the Obama administration, is that there's a time to take off the kid gloves and start really kicking people in the mouth, and it wasn't being done. We were trying to do things diplomatically and everything, and now I feel like we're at the point where if we were to go to war with another culture, another countries that don't have the kid gloves on like we do here in America, that we're the ones that are going to get kicked in the mouth. That's what makes me scared. And I'm like, man, Trump, stay away from all that stuff. Just be like, you know what? America first, America first, America first.
And we'll see soon, because just like, Africa, they have no gloves. They have no gloves. And so we'll see how this all works out over there. I mean, hopefully it ends sooner than, it has to. I would hate to have to go against, a country where you don't know who's good and who is bad again. It's just one of them things, like, it's just like an Iraq war. It would be like, but we're fighting on their ground, and in places that we haven't really fought in a place that we haven't fought before. So it's going to be a little bit, I think that'll show, whenever nobody has gloves and no one's afraid to stand up, because we know their kids will fight.
Yes.
Just like in Iraq, but they're hesitant. Iraq, to me, was more kids were hesitant there.
Right.
Africa, they're not hesitant. They're on drugs and everything else, and they're ready. So we will see. I mean,
see what happens. What's that drug? What's that leaf that they chew on over there? It's some kind of leaf that they put in there. It's
coca leaf.
No, well, yeah, probably, but no, it's something like kashpa or something like that, where it's this green leaf and you just chew on it, and you don't feel like you're getting high, but after a while you're like high.
Oh yeah, I think I seen it on National Geographic one time.
And they like mix cocaine and gunpowder and they snort it and all sorts of stuff. What?
Yeah, like
cocaine and gunpowder. I don't understand.
I mean, it's one of the things when we look at it, are we big enough right now to substantially fight so many countries at one time? And we already know we've been spread out before, and shoot, it was not good.
Right.
And so here we are again. We have all these countries that that we have problems with right now. And it is, I don't believe it's beneficial to us at all. I think we should just let the Syria thing. I'm one of those people. I'm like, yes, it's good that we kind of showed our face and put some bombs down. But right now we shouldn't make a big impact about it, because we don't have the resources and we don't have the people right now to push into that country while we're trying to fight other countries.
Right. All right. One more question before strange news.
Okay. One more question.
Right, one more question.
I'm still Donald Trump or no?
No, you're not Donald Trump anymore. You're broke again.
No, you can't take my Donald Trump away without me saying this.
What?
Stormy Daniels was good.
Okay. Yes.
All worth every penny.
Worth every penny. Well, good for her, I guess. Okay, so you're not Donald Trump anymore.
She loves Converse, Brett.
You know what? I had nightmares last night. That's an inside joke, guys, about Converse. And maybe if I see you in person, you can ask me about it, and I'll tell you the story about him,
and Converse.
Robbie, Converse, and what my wife said after she saw Robbie's Converse. So okay. Before strange news, we're both retired military. We go to war with Syria, Russia, China. What happens? What happens if they come to you and say, "Hey, we need you to go and fight"? What do you say?
Well, I signed up. When I first joined the military, that was my big thing. That was my dedication to this country, that I would lay down my life for it. And to this day, I would still do the same thing. I would not change anything just because, I was injured and this and that. I would go back and I would do the same thing. I would lay down my life for this country, whether I believe it's right or wrong. It's one of them things. It was a choice that I said I would do. I don't agree with everything all the time. I don't agree that we should have been in Afghanistan. there was really no reason, but we were there, and I would have, if I was called to go to there, I would have definitely done that without a doubt.
Okay, so you'd go fight even in your retired status.
Even in my retired status.
Wow. All right. Cool.
Now, what would you do, Brett?
Oh gosh. I would go fishing. I think that's what I would do. No, I would if they called me and they were like, "Listen, we need somebody to wax the floors and change the garbage out and stuff like that." No, I would like to say I would go. It'd be a tough conversation for me to have with my wife and my kids. Oh, really, my wife. But it was one of those things that I don't think I could answer it unless they would ask me to go. I'd have to talk to Susie about it, and it depends what she said. And she said, "You know what? This is what once a Navy air crewman, always a naval air crewman." So I would do my part if I got my blessing from my wife.
Good thing you'll be in the sea, so you won't have to run, Brett.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to be in the ocean. I'd be happy to be the guy that's putting the all those freaking mortars in the chamber. All right, some strange news.
Strange news.
Hey guys, I saw this and I was like, come on, people. Come on. I mean, here is the headline, and a lot of you probably saw this week. The headline it's from the AP News. It says, homeowner finds naked intruder in her tub eating Cheetos. Right?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Here it is from Monroe, Louisiana. Police in Louisiana say a woman came home to discover a naked stranger in her tub eating her Cheetos while taking a bath. Monroe police affidavit said 29-year-old Evelyn Washington was arrested on burglary and property damage charges. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports that a responding officer found, in quotes, a full tub of water and a plate of food along with half-eaten Cheetos belonging to the victim on the toilet next to the tub. I'm like, okay. And then it says Washington told the homeowner that police that an unknown male told her to break into the house. Police found tall ice chests under a broken window. And here's the last sentence of this article. It is unclear she has a lawyer. Why do I care if she has a lawyer or not? There's a naked woman in some person's tub eating Cheetos.
You want to know what I care about?
Huh?
Were they still Cheetos? Or did she actually fold up the bag? That is my question.
That's a legit question. That's what I need to know, because that depends whether she goes for the insanity plea or the guilty plea or not guilty plea. Cheetos in itself is a little iffy. But
this should be a hashtag to Cheetos. People break into houses to take baths and eat Cheetos. That is awesome.
We need to tweet at them and say, listen, there's a commercial here. You guys can be like Geico.
Yes.
Or we are farmers. We've seen that.
Well, I would never eat a Cheeto while taking a bath for the simple fact that my Cheeto could get soggy if it fell in the water.
Soggy, yeah. Even your fingers.
Yes.
Your fingers are wet and waterlogged or whatever you call it. And
then you got a waterlogged Cheeto.
Oh, come on. Is there anything worse than a waterlogged Cheeto?
Ain't nothing like a moist Cheeto. And I know people hate the word moist.
I hate that word. That's the worst word in life. Moist and seep. Seep and pus. I hate the word pus. Like, oh yeah, I have pus coming out of my leg. It's like, oh, I need to wash my hands after saying the word. But yeah, so we got a lady naked in a tub. She broke into a house eating Cheetos and a half-eaten plate of food on the toilet. So that is a winner.
Well, first off, I would never, ever put a plate of any food on a toilet. That is disgusting.
No. Oh, wait, there's just an update. They just got the identity of the person. She faked her identity. Her real name was Stormy Daniels. So that $150,000 really worked out for her.
I gave her a bag of Cheetos too. I don't know.
You know what? You're just a nice guy. You're a nice guy. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for everything you do. And hope everything works out for you. Well, man, this has been a good show. I'm glad we disagreed on something finally.
I liked it.
Yeah, man.
Very enjoyable.
Well, listen, guys, if you're here, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for watching us. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do have a YouTube account, Arm and a Leg and Other Opinions We Like to Give podcast. Thank you. And go ahead and subscribe to it and click the notification button. And what happens is you get that notification button clicked, and every time we post a new video, it bing, the bing's on there and everything. So what else we got there, Robbie?
Also, don't forget to subscribe to Arm and a Leg and Other Opinions We Like to Give on SoundCloud, and also like our Facebook page. And if you can, leave a few comments about today's show or any past shows, and we'll check them out. And we might, if it's the best one, we'll read it next week when we get on here. But that's pretty much it for now, huh, bro?
Yeah. I got a comment the other day that said, I'm not sure about this opinion, but I don't like you. They said that to me. They did not like me. And I immediately typed back. I was like, Mom? So thank you guys so much for everything you do. Thank you for being here. My name's Brett, Miracle Man Parks.
And this is Robbie Gaupp.
And we are
out of here.